My name's Katja Heinemann, and actually just of recent, before that, I was Katja Schneider. When I came to Yarram, in fact I'd never heard of Yarram before, I was invited out to the country for a weekend by a mutual friend. We used to do Camel Market together, and I'd had a lot going on, and my son was ready to go over to Germany to become a rapper, and my daughter was homeschooling, high school, and I'd had overseas students and all this sort of stuff, and I thought, a weekend in the country, that sounds fantastic. So I had a little road trip, and it just felt great, and I felt like the further I came out here, in fact, I knew it was Gippsland. I'd never heard of Yarram. I was particularly going to Wanron, which I'd also never heard of, and my only connection previous to that to Gippsland was as a child we'd always go to Cape Patterson. So being German, Mum would make potato salad, and we'd get in the car 5 o'clock in the morning and crack of dawn, and we get to Cape Patterson, and it's still the time we had to scramble down the side of the cliff sort of thing. And so that was my only thought. Cape Patterson is Gippsland, really. And then we'd get home at the end of the sunny day and, you know, red raw, like these boots really, because we didn't do the sunblock then. Anyway, so I got invited for a weekend in the country by a mutual friend. I thought, great, I'm just going to, you know, wriggle some dates with the job, like I was managing a shop in Bowen, and got the weekend off, and yeah, got to this beautiful, as soon as my foot hit the ground, I was like, I just kind of breathed out, you know, and it was like, wow, this is peaceful. All I could hear were birds, and there were llamas and cows and green grass, and it was gorgeous. Anyway, the short end of the story is that I basically fell in love like that over the weekend. Done. Didn't expect anything to happen, you know, bought an esky of food, and that was the weekend. And then every spare weekend I'd come back, and, you know, my daughter got to see me less and less, and because she was homeschooling, it just kind of made sense. I said to her, hey, do you want to move to the country? And she was like, sure, why not, you know. What I do is, oh gosh, I have many strings to my bow that I've kind of collected over the years. What I do now, it's always been a bit of a dream of mine to have a studio shop space where I can incorporate all the things that I do. Sewing, design, construction, jewellery making, silk making, paper, books, binding, hair cutting. So I wanted to basically set up a little space, and happened to find this little space with a sign on the door that it was empty. And I saw the barber's chair, and I went, actually didn't see myself getting back into doing hair, but I thought barber, low maintenance, you know, not the high end, you know, just walk in, casual. Now what I've tried to incorporate is supporting local artists by stocking some very unique, interesting pieces. I mean, it's not a massive place, otherwise I'd have them all. Yes, well, I'm not a big reader, to be honest. I'm a very visual person, so for me, unless I get visuals in the first few lines or pages, it doesn't really go far. However, my favourite book would have to be Krabat by Ottfried Preußler, and it is a little bit, it touches on sort of dark death, love, magic, and you know, the Germans, I grew up with German fairy tales, and that they can be quite macabre, you know, but this is all about, it's almost like, you know, touches on that thing that even if there is a whole stadium of darkness and there's just that tiny little speck of light, love, it prevails. I would say the place that raises my energy, that I feel incredibly uplifted by, is the drive up to Tarabulga, because of the smells and you know, just everything. It's not just Amber and I. We go for the Tarabulga hit, where we just need it, and it's just driving and the windows down, even if it's freezing cold, but all the scents and the sounds. And we saw 3 lyrebirds once, you know, and squealed, and imagine the lyrebird running into the forest screaming, because you know how they imitate sound. I mean, beautiful. We are so lucky. In this spot here, you could go in any direction and find something magical, and go off the beaten track and find something magical.